We are so excited to be joined tonight by Michelle Cooper, Kansas City forward, U.S. Women's National Team rising star. Thank you so much for joining us. Welcome to Football W. How are you?
Thank you. Good. How are you?
Good. Look at that hype video. You're welcome. Okay, you're welcome
Yeah,
for that.
what the heck? I was giggling. I was like, thanks, guys. That was pretty good.
But let's take it back to the very beginning. I want to talking about playing at Duke, one of the best universities to play for, and then turning pro, getting into the NWSL in 2023. So take me back to Duke and that experience, and then how was that, coming into the pro and get you ready for that next stage?
Yeah, my college years at Duke, I still talk about how like it's the best place on earth and a lot of my teammates make fun of me for it, but I really did love it there and I credit a lot of where I am right now thanks to Robbie, thanks to Kieran Hall who were my coaches when I was there and being able to grow. They instilled a lot of confidence in me and I think that was vital for my years in the NWSL now.
So obviously that stage had, set a good foundation for you walking into the professional atmosphere. But what is one of the biggest adjustments that you've experienced with the NWSL in Kansas City?
Yeah, one of my biggest adjustments, honestly, is the speed of play and the physicality. I mean, I'm playing girls and women who have been playing this game for maybe as long as I've been alive at one point. And I think that that skill and that maturity that they bring to the game was one of the biggest adjustments that I had.
And then once you got your feet under you, every player has that, defining moment where it really sinks in. What was the welcome to the league moment for you? Was it a specific tackle or a specific goal, or just, a game where you thought, okay, I'm here now and this is really it?
Yeah, I think the biggest welcome to the league for me was honestly my first year, my first game. We traveled to North Carolina, and I was so excited to be part of the team because they went to the championship last year, and we lost that game. And knowing that, like what we did in the or what was done with the club in the previous year does not matter in the following year, and that hype and that excitement needs to be all rebuilt from the beginning, and that this is one of the most competitive leagues in the world.
And obviously, it wasn't always smooth sailing, right? So coming into your rookie season, you weren't as a consistent starter as you are now, right? Now you're one of the first players on the team sheet. So what have you done over the past couple of seasons in order to help develop your game to now be that consistent starter?
Yeah, I credit a lot of that to Vlaco. I mean, my time that I've spent with him in the past year, he's really helped instilled a lot of confidence into me and my game. He's continued to encourage me to go at players, to do the things that he knows I'm capable of doing. And I think my teammates around me as well, they encourage mistakes and they encourage growth. And knowing that I can make a mistake and they're still there to catch me and that I can go again next play and they're okay with me having those moments, that has really helped me in the past year feel the confidence to be able to take on anyone in any team and any game.
And obviously we see this week in and week out, right? Blacko's leadership, but also your teammates, and helping each other succeed on the field in order to stay at the top of the table. So, what do you think has actually been the main factors for you in Kansas City to have this incredible start to the season and that consistency week in and week out to get results?
Yeah, we talk about a lot how we're super proud of what we did last year, but we know we want more. And we knew that last year we wanted more and we just fell a little short. So taking notes of those things from last year and bringing them into this year was super important for us. And we don't talk about where we sit at the table. We haven't talked about how well we've done this year in the season. All we talk about is the next game. And I think that's what really sets our mentality apart.
And you talk about a few challenges, right? Because when you're at that consistent level at the top of the table, that itself brings its own set of challenges. So how do you and the team handle that challenge of being in first place for this amount of time and keep yourself sharp to avoid that, complacency, so to speak?
Yeah, I think it's super hard to not want to look at the table and celebrate and be happy for what we've done and glad of where we sit. But like I just said, we don't speak about it. We don't talk about it at the facility. We don't talk about it at training. We don't talk about it before we go into games, we just focus on what we need to do, and that is continue to do what we've been doing this year. It doesn't matter that we're sitting in first place. It doesn't matter that we're sitting in first place by however many points it is right now. We know that every game will bring its own challenges, and it will be the hardest game of the year that we're going to play.
And we saw last weekend, obviously, one of the hottest matchups against Orlando, right? And it was a tough test. And this past weekend's draw, obviously, must have been a really difficult one, especially, having that little rivalry that we saw even last year in the playoff run. But what lessons did you and the team take away, once again, from this win that you can now apply moving forward and into this upcoming weekend?
Orlando is a great team, and I think everyone knows that. And to be able to go through what we went through with all of the heats and the delays of the game last weekend and still put out a good performance against a great Orlando team, it means that we're moving in the right direction. And now is the best time to be continuing to move up because we're hitting towards the end of the season. It's important that we find our best form here soon so that when playoffs comes, we know that we're prepared. We're ready for this. We've been through the delays. We've been through the challenges. We've played all the hard games. And now it's just facing that first moment.
And a part of what makes you all so strong is the depth and the new pieces recently that you've added, right? I've said that all season. It's the team that has the most depth that can really stay at the top of the table and be that consistent. But you've got some exciting additions. Obviously, Ali Sentner joins the team, and I mean, you've had the incredible Chawinga. And what do they bring to the attack, and how do they make your job a little bit easier up front? I mean, you play a ball in behind the Chawinga. I mean, you as well. You just run onto it, beat all the defenders, and it's lights out. But with Ali Sentner joining the team, what does she bring to the squad now?
Yeah, Ali has not even touched what she can do yet. And I think that's super exciting to know that she has a bright future. And to be able to say that she's going to be part of our team is what makes me even more excited. But knowing what Ali can do, she's one heck of a hard worker on the field, and knowing that she can score goals from outside the box. And that's going to be absolutely huge for us now because we know that we can get in behind. We know that we can score those easy goals, but being able to have Ali as one of our shot takers from top of the box, outside the box, forcing defenders in hard positions, making them step, question what they need to do, that is going to be super good for us.
And do you think with Chawinga that she'll repeat as MVP, or what are the chances?
I think Temwa has a ceiling like no other. I think she has the possibility to repeat. I think, like I said, we don't talk about these things, but I will say I think she is one heck of a player, and MVP status is something that is so fitting for her.
Not only is it amazing that you all have such depth, right, but the quality and the standard that I think a lot of the players within the organization just set every single day is why you are where you are. But also you touched on a little bit with Vlatko and Anaski leading the team. What has he done at this level to help shape and guide the team's style this season, and what do you value in that?
He has brought grit to this team. He's brought hard work. We've always had that, but it's a different level now where if you're not going to do it, someone else will. And knowing that and having that competitiveness and pressure from top to bottom of our roster is what continues to push us and make us so great. And I think that standard that he has, he doesn't only have it for the players, he has it for the girls who are coming off the bench. He has it for our staff members, our medical, for everyone. And I think this high standard that's been set around our entire facility throughout who we are is now ingrained into us. And I think that's what he's really brought to this club and helped us to where we are now.
And beyond the coaching, I'm sure that there's teammates who've really helped you and guided you into this professional atmosphere. So is there anyone specific who's kind of taken you under their wing and really kind of shared the ropes with you to make it a little bit easier in the first few years?
I wouldn't say anyone specific. I think everyone's done a little sprinkle of help here and there for me, but I think Vanessa DiBernardo has really helped me gain some confidence this year in what I do on the field and to go at defenders and not to think twice. And she sees things and sees the game differently. And she's like, if you can't hit this run, this is also something that I could play. And I think I built a really good relationship with her this year, and she's helped a lot. But as well as Lola Bonta, I mean, we know she's one heck of a player. She's a great team captain, and she's also someone who continues to encourage and bring good vibes and good energy to me and the rest of the team, obviously, on game day.
And I'm sure with all that support, that kind of gives you that motivation, that extra confidence for the next level, right? So I want to jump into the U.S. Women's National Team. Take me back to that first call-up, the feelings that you had, what your thoughts were, and what that moment was like. And now that you've been there for a few camps consistently, how is that, becoming, I guess, just this feeling of being more present with the team, and now you're feeling like you're really there?
Yeah, my first call up was absolutely insane. I hadn't cried so much about soccer in a very long time. But yeah, I can't even put it into words. That feeling is indescribable. And to be able to be given that opportunity was super exciting for me. And as I continued to get called into camps and hopefully continue to, I slowly am coming out of my shell. I think it's something that at first everyone, it's a really tough environment and everyone's probably like, this girl's really quiet. But over time, I've been able to build more of a relationship with the girls off the field, which is obviously helping on field chemistry. And to be able to put on the crest is just such a blessing that I can't even say thank you enough for.
I might be putting you on the spot right now, but what are the biggest differences between Emma and Blacko? And can you talk about it?
Oh my goodness. I mean,
I'm
I
setting
will
you
say
up.
they're both pretty big jokesters, which is it's great. It's a great vibe for
Mm.
the team. It's a great vibe at any time, but I don't know what their biggest differences are. They both demand a lot from their players, and I think having that in both environments is really nice and not too hard to adjust to.
Right. You've been balancing obviously both so much with club and country, and the growth shows in your game. So you've been growing both as a player with Kansas City current the past few seasons, and obviously now at the U.S. Women's National Team with the last camps and games that we've seen you play has been tremendous. So how does that evolving role fuel the motivation, and what are your personal goals for the rest of the season and kind of looking ahead into next year with the U.S. Women's National Team?
Yeah, I definitely just want to keep growing. Obviously, my 1v1, I would love to keep going at players. And I think the biggest thing that's changed for me between last year and this year is my crossing. And I want to be able to say that at the end of this year, that's definitely something I've improved. But going into next year, I want to be able to be a forward that can do both and put defenders on their heels when I go to the right, or even if I can cut in on my left. And I think that's going to be the biggest improvement for my game and my goal for the next year.
And we talked a little bit about Emma Hayes, just a touch about her being a jokester. But in all seriousness, the next big part of the international journey for you is Emma Hayes. And what do you value most about her leadership and the environment that she's building with this new UN's Women's National Team group?
She welcomes challenges and she welcomes the ups and downs. And I think that's super important to building a team that's going to go on the journey they're going to go on in 27 and 28. And knowing that it's not going to be smooth sailing, there's going to be highs, there's going to be lows, there's going to be games that you win, there's going to be games that you win and maybe didn't play as well and you're still disappointed walking off the field. And she does a really good job at rallying the girls together and making sure that we welcome those moments and that we grow through those moments, that they don't define us, but the next moment that we have to prove ourselves to be better, that we take it head on.
And speaking of big challenges, this upcoming weekend, you're playing against Portland, which is, they've been a red-hot Portland side so far. They've been scoring a lot of goals. They've been winning games, improving themselves as such a young team. How are you and the team preparing for that test and going to come away with a result?
I would love to come away with the result, but I do think it's super important that we show up to this game ready. And like you said, they're red hot right now, and being at home is going to be huge for them. They're going to have so many fans. It's going to be an insane atmosphere. And I think it's just really important for us to stick to who we are and continue to do what we've been doing, even under the Portland pressure and knowing that they're on the up.
Well, Michelle, thank you so much for sharing your journey with us. We absolutely love watching you play and just watching the growth, both with Kansas City and the U.S. Women's National Team. We are so excited amongst all the other fans who are supporting you along your journey and this rest of the season. So good luck, and good luck this weekend versus Portland. And you are welcome back anytime.
Oh, thank you so much. Maybe I'll take you up on that.